First, starting off with education, a growing controversy in the state of California over transgender participation in girls' sports is drawing attention from athletes, advocacy groups, and political leaders across the state. This past week, the California Family Council organized a protest outside Southern California's Yorba Linda High School ahead of the California Interscholastic Federation Southern Section Division 3 track and field preliminary meet. Demonstrators called on the California Interscholastic Federation, or CIF, to prohibit transgender athletes from competing in girls' sports. Now, this press conference / protest focused on transgender athletes competing in the girls' long jump, high jump, and triple jump events. These organizers state that the athletes entered the competition with the top qualifying marks in all three events. And this is increased criticism from opponents who argue that the CIF policy creates unfair competition for female athletes. Now, currently, the CIF bylaws, which is bylaws 300D, allow students to participate in athletics according to gender identity. Critics argue that the policy conflicts with Title IX protections, which is intended to preserve equal athletic opportunities for girls and women. Now, there were several speakers at the press conference that the Center Square attended, addressing various crowds during the protest. Among the speakers was Sophia Laurie, who is a former CIF athlete as well as current outreach director at the California Family Council. And Laurie stated during the press conference that the organization intends to provide legal resources to various female student athletes if they want to file something against the state for, as they claim, discrimination against their athleticism and their category, as well as removing various awards and medals that transgender athletes have received since they are competing in girls' sports, and striking their name from records, requesting that these previous awards be given to the second place or third place female athletes. Another speaker at the press conference was Sonia Shaw. She is the current president of Chino Valley Unified School District in Southern California, but is also currently Republican candidate for California Superintendent of Public Instruction. During the press conference, she strongly criticized the CIF leadership as well as Governor Gavin Newsom. Shaw argues that female athletes are losing opportunities earned through years of training and preparation.
I'm going to challenge you men. Start protecting your daughters. There should be more men here than women today. And unfortunately there isn't. And I, again, am grateful for those of you, like my husband, who says not on his watch. But this is a message to all dads across California. Wake up. These are your daughters. This is the next generation. They should not be here having to fight for basic rights. They should not have to fight for their safety. We have coward men that are voted in to make these decisions and that are causing the harm. But guess what? Everybody's hands in it. As a majority of California, enough. Take it to the ballot boxes. We're done with their insults. Our daughters are paying the price. This is insane. Our girls are suffering. They're unsafe. Every time they enter into any competition or any restroom, they are unsafe. We should not allow that on our watch. They're losing the opportunities that they have worked their entire young lives for. Blood, sweat, tears, sacrifices. I know. I'm the mother of two athletes, one collegiate and one in high school. I've seen it. There's so much sacrifices. You ladies should never have to be in this position. It breaks my heart. And I said, until I go to heaven, I will never stop fighting for our daughters, ever. It's just criminal, this behavior on adults' watch. Enough already.
The Republican gubernatorial candidates Steve Hilton and Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco was also going to attend the press conference to show their support for this protest, but sadly could not attend. But as you see here, many people like these gubernatorial candidates, as well as various lawmakers and people in office in the state of California on more conservative or Republican side, do support the change for these bylaws. And currently, the California Interscholastic Federation has not responded for a comment, especially since the lawsuit is still pending that the U.S. Department of Education has brought against CIF way back in the summer of 2025. Now, many supporters of transgender inclusion in sports pushed back against the criticism. There was some anti-protesters against the protest there in support of transgender athletes competing, saying that they should be included. And the Center Square was able to talk to Gabrielle Antolovich. She is the president of CEO of the Billy DeFrank LGBTQ plus Community Center in San Jose. And Antolovich argues that transgender athletes, while they are a part of these teams and competing in these sports, represent a very, very small percentage and a small portion of athletic competition, and stated that available research does not conclusively prove that a consistent and competitive advantage for transgender women in sports. Now, Antolovich also said and criticized this protest that, these actions are directed at transgender athletes, and it could eventually expand into a broader restriction affecting women in general. Something Antolovich highlighted was, well, what about women that maybe are more masculine or don't want to wear dresses or want to wear makeup? Is that the next step coming after them? And so kind of something Antolovich highlights, kind of criticizing the protests, is that they don't really draw a line. Where does that end? Is it only after this 0.0001% of the population of sports, or does it continue on? Something she added as well is that there are less than 10 students transgender students competing in the NCAA, which is college sports currently, and that's compared to over 500,000 female athletes in the NCAA currently. Additionally, her comments emphasize participation, inclusion, and sportsmanship over medal counts and rankings. Something Antolovich highlights is, well, yeah, sure, the medals and the rankings are great, but Antolovich told the Center Square that it should be about sportsmanship. It should be about coming together and camaraderie and team support rather than just winning first place. And so if you'd like to continue to follow this developing story, as well as LGBTQ plus issues across the country, you can go to thecentersquare.com under our education section.